Hidden for 2,500 years deep within a desert monastery, there's a gospel containing the most revolutionary words ever attributed to Jesus. Teachings so powerful, they were deliberately removed from the Bible because they revealed manifestation, secrets that religious authorities preferred to keep hidden. The Gospel of Thomas doesn't talk about blind faith or passive submission, but teaches precise techniques to unite thought and emotion into a single force capable of literally moving mountains. While you've been taught to pray by asking, these ancient texts reveal that true prayer is feeling as if your answer has already happened. This knowledge transformed monks into instant healers, Native Americans into weather masters, and small groups into creators of measurable world peace. You're about to discover why your prayers don't work the way you expected, and how a simple shift in perspective can transform you from a passive observer into a conscious co-creator of your reality. Imagine discovering a treasure hidden for over 1,000 years, kept secret by monks who dedicated their lives to preserving occult knowledge. We're talking about lost teachings revealing the true power of human spirituality. In the deserts, Heart sits a monastery that challenges everything you know about sacred history. Between walls that witnessed 15 centuries of prayer lies a secret library containing fragments of pure wisdom. These monks, silent guardians of ancient gnosis, preserved texts that religious authorities preferred hidden. Among those yellowed pages sits a gospel that would forever change our understanding of Jesus and his true teachings. The monastery looks primitive. Monks still bake bread in the sun and draw water from ancient wells. But this simplicity hides spiritual sophistication few can grasp. When you enter its corridors, you're walking where 1,500 years of devotion still pulses in the stones. Every corner echoes with whispered prayers, every wall absorbed the illumination of truth seekers. What's impressive isn't the architecture, it's knowing that there lies knowledge that could revolutionize our understanding of consciousness awakening. The monks understood something fundamental. Preserving ancient wisdom meant preserving keys to unlock divine potential within every human being. This monastery's secret library holds more than dusty books. It houses primitive Christian mysticism, texts deliberately removed from biblical compilation. Among preserved manuscripts, the Gospel of Thomas stands out, containing words attributed directly to Jesus, teachings revealing practical methods for accessing elevated consciousness states. When you understand these texts were purposely hidden, you question what truths were so powerful they needed suppression. The answer lies in the message's revolutionary nature. Jesus didn't just talk about miracles, he taught how to perform them. He offered practical instructions for reaching illumination. That would change everything if widely known. What makes this discovery fascinating is knowing the monks race against time. They feel a great transformation approaching. That's why they're dedicated to digitizing every page of these sacred texts. Using hidden modern technology, Apple computers, scanners, they preserve this knowledge for future generations. It's as if they knew we're entering an era where humanity will desperately need to rediscover its true spiritual nature. Among all texts they preserve, the Gospel of Thomas shines like a rare jewel, containing secrets about uniting thought and emotion into a single force capable of transcending physical reality's limitations. But here's what will shake your convictions. This gospel doesn't discuss blind faith or passive submission. Instead, it reveals Jesus as a gnosis master, teaching specific methods to awaken divine power within each of us. When you understand that thought and emotion, perfectly aligned, create energy capable of moving mountains, you realize you're discovering advanced spiritual science. These teachings don't speak of miracles as supernatural events, but as natural manifestations of elevated consciousness. These ancient words whisper a secret religious institutions preferred keeping occult. Every human being carries the potential to become a conscious co-creator of their own existence. You're about to discover why your prayers don't work as expected. For centuries, we've been taught to beg the Creator like beggars at a king's door. But original Aramaic texts reveal revolutionary truth. True prayer isn't a request, it's gratitude for something already happened in reality's quantum field. When Jesus taught prayer, He wasn't discussing desperate pleas or empty rituals. He was revealing advanced spiritual technology, a precise method for communicating with fundamental energy permeating the universe. This discovery was deliberately removed from scriptures. When you understand how prayer really works, you become a direct channel of divine gnosis. The edited Bible we know is like a symphony with important notes removed. Imagine discovering your favorite songs had hidden verses explaining how to apply life lessons. That's what happened with prayer teachings. In original manuscripts, Jesus didn't just say, "Ask and receive." He explained how to ask so the universe responds. The secret was in two phrases 4th century editors removed. Ask without hidden motives and be surrounded by your answer. This isn't poetic instruction. It's a precise formula for accessing elevated consciousness where manifestation happens naturally. When you pray without hidden motives, you eliminate ego and judgment. When you be surrounded by the response, you create the energy field for reality to reorganize. Here's where magic happens. True prayer doesn't seek to change the Creator's will, but aligns your energy with possibilities already existing in potentialities. Infinite field. Think of tuning a radio. Music is already transmitted. You just need the correct frequency. When Jesus spoke about feeling as if prayer was answered, he taught how to access that frequency. It's like being thirsty and drinking cold water. You don't thank for water you'll drink. You feel gratitude for thirst already quenched. This completeness sensation is the language the universe recognizes. That's why people mastering this technique manifest impossible changes. They're choosing a reality where needs were already met, and allowing that choice to materialize physically. True mysticism understood that emotion is energy in motion, and feelings are waves interacting with reality's fabric. When you feel anger, you're sending vibrations attracting corresponding circumstances. When you cultivate gratitude, you're tuning a frequency attracting aligned experiences. Jesus taught that abundance and illumination's secret was learning to feel first, manifest later. That's why he told disciples to rejoice before seeing results. Anticipated rejoicing creates the magnetic field to attract desired experience. Imagine watching a movie, but discovering you can influence the script through feelings. If you get emotional as if the hero already won, the story reorganizes to make that victory real. This is the occult science behind true prayer. But here's what will revolutionize your spiritual practice. When you understand feelings are literally commands sent to reality's quantum field, every moment becomes conscious co-creation opportunity. It's not about waiting for something external to change your life. It's recognizing you possess the most advanced transformation technology. Each time you feel genuine gratitude for something not yet manifested, you're exercising a spiritual muscle few develop. When you master this heart language, something extraordinary happens. You stop being circumstance's victim and become your existence's maestro. This transformation creates waves affecting everything around you, because individual consciousness, awakening contributes to humanity's collective elevation. Theory is fascinating, but you need to see how this ancient spiritual science works in practice. Prepare for 3 documented cases that will shake everything you believe about physical reality's limits. The first happened in a Chinese hospital, where a woman with a cancerous tumor was placed with 3 traditional medicine practitioners. They didn't touch her, gave no medications. For 3 minutes, these energy masters focused their feelings on one reality. The woman completely healed. There was no doubt, just absolute certainty she was already healthy. While the ultrasound transmitted in real time, the tumor simply disappeared before doctors' eyes. This isn't fairy tale. It's documented proof of consciousness awakening's transformative power. What made this healing possible wasn't magic. It was practical application of principles Jesus taught in the Gospel of Thomas. The practitioners didn't judge cancer as something bad needing combat. Instead, they accepted it as one possibility among many and chose a different reality through their feelings. They chanted "already done" in Chinese, creating completeness vibration that resonates with the quantum field where all possibilities exist simultaneously. It's like changing TV channels. You don't fight the current program, you tune the frequency of what you want. When you get emotional as if the new program is playing, reality reorganizes to correspond. This is gnosis in action, applied knowledge transcending physical world limitations. The second demonstration comes from Native American traditions, where David needed to bring rain after the worst drought in over 100 years. But he didn't. Pray for rain. This distinction is fundamental to understanding how manifestation works. When you pray asking for something, you're energetically declaring that thing doesn't exist now, and the universe maintains that absence condition. David did something different. He closed his eyes and felt stepping in mud with bare feet after torrential rain. He felt wet earth smell on his village walls. He felt joy running through cornfields that grew tall from abundant precipitation. Then he expressed deep gratitude for rain that already happened in the possibilities field. Within hours, black clouds formed, and rain fell so intensely it caused flooding. The third example demonstrates how this spiritual technology can transform apparently impossible collective situations. During the First Israel-Lebanon War, researchers trained groups to feel peace as if already established in the region. These practitioners didn't take sides, didn't judge who was right or wrong. They focused their hearts on harmony already restored. Something extraordinary happened. While they maintained this peace energy, terrorist attacks stopped completely. Violent crimes decreased drastically. Emergency hospital visits fell significantly, and traffic accidents reduced. When they stopped, this focus or statistics returned to previous levels. They discovered the mathematical formula. Just the square root of 1% of local population needs to maintain this coherent state. These three cases reveal something profound about reality's nature. We're not passive observers in a mechanical universe, but active participants in an intelligent consciousness field responding to our internal states. When you understand your highest feelings are literally instructions sent to existence's fabric, each moment becomes opportunity to consciously contribute to creating your experience. The difference between living as circumstance's victim and living as conscious co-creator lies in your ability to maintain internal states aligned with what you want to manifest. When you master this ability, something extraordinary begins. You discover there's science behind these miracles, an occult logic connecting heart, mind, and matter. You're about to discover that your heart is much more than a muscular pump. It's actually your body's most intelligent organ, a sophisticated information processing center that constantly communicates with your brain through measurable electromagnetic signals. Modern science is finally catching up to what mystics always knew. There's an uninterrupted conversation between heart and mind that determines not only your physical health, but your ability to influence reality around you. Each heartbeat sends specific waves of information to the brain, instructing it about what type of chemistry to release into your system. When you experience stress, anxiety, or fear, your heart transmits chaotic patterns that make the brain flood your body with hormones that literally accelerate aging and suppress the immune system. But when you cultivate feelings of gratitude, compassion, and appreciation, something magical happens. Your heart enters coherence, creating harmonious waves that instruct the brain to release substances that regenerate, heal, and strengthen every cell. What makes this discovery even more fascinating is that this heart-brain communication generates an electromagnetic field that extends far beyond your physical body's limits. Imagine discovering you're constantly transmitting and receiving information through an invisible energy field that connects you to everything and everyone around you. That's exactly what's happening. Your heart produces your body's strongest electromagnetic field, 5,000 times more powerful than the brain's, and this field can be detected more than 6 feet away. When you enter an environment, people literally feel the quality of energy emanating from your heart. That's why some people make you feel immediately calm and centered, while others create discomfort without saying a word. They're unconsciously transmitting the electromagnetic patterns of their internal states. And here's the revolutionary part. When you learn to intentionally cultivate heart-coherent states through practices like gratitude and appreciation, you're not just improving your own health, you're contributing to a collective energy field that can positively influence everyone around you. Modern technology now allows us to visualize in real time what happens when groups of people synchronize their heart fields through meditative practices focused on gratitude. It's like watching an invisible symphony organize before your eyes. Chaotic waves transform into harmonious patterns, creating a collective coherent state that transcends the sum of individual parts. When a group of people connects physically and simultaneously focuses on elevated feelings, measurement equipment shows all hearts begin beating in perfect synchrony, as if they were cells of a larger organism. And then something extraordinary happens. Even when they separate physically, maintaining only focused intention, coherence continues. This scientifically proves there's a non-local field connecting consciousnesses tuned to the same emotional frequency. It's like discovering you always had access to a cosmic internet, but needed to learn the correct password to connect. This discovery completely revolutionizes our understanding of prayer, meditation, and spiritual practices in general. When Tibetan, monks spend hours in meditation cultivating compassion. They're not just developing internally, they're literally creating coherent energy fields that influence their surrounding environment. When groups gather to pray or meditate together, they're not just sharing an emotional experience. They're co-creating a measurable electromagnetic field that can affect everything from plant growth to crime reduction in a specific region. The difference between an effective spiritual practice and an empty ritual lies in the quality of heart coherence you can generate and maintain. That's why true illumination can't be faked or forced. It produces specific energy signatures that can be detected and measured. But here's what will really transform your life. You don't need to wait to be in a group or special environment to access this power. At every moment, with each conscious breath, you can choose to tune your heart to a coherence frequency that not only optimizes your health and well-being, but contributes to elevating the collective consciousness field. It's like discovering you have in your hands a musical instrument capable of playing existence's symphony. You just need to learn to pluck the right strings through your highest feelings. And when you realize this capacity isn't the privilege of a few chosen ones, but the natural birthright of every human being, something profound awakens within you. You stop seeing yourself as an isolated drop in the ocean and recognize yourself as a unique and irreplaceable expression of the ocean itself, becoming conscious of itself. You're about to discover you were programmed to live much longer than you imagine, and the key to unlocking this potential is hidden in humanity's most ancient teachings. Original sacred texts don't speak of a 70 to 100-year life as something natural, but as a self-imposed limitation based on destructive emotional patterns most people carry without realizing. The oldest spiritual traditions are unanimous. We were created to inhabit these bodies for at least 900 years, with the first 100 being considered just the initial learning period. This isn't fantasy or magical thinking, it's recognition that you're an infinitely more powerful being than you were taught to believe. Every cell in your body possesses the capacity to completely regenerate every 7 years. Your heart can produce new muscle cells. Your brain can generate new neurons. Even in advanced age, you're literally rebuilding yourself every moment. The question isn't whether you have capacity to live centuries, but why you're unconsciously choosing to accelerate your own aging through emotional patterns that destroy your natural vitality. The answer lies in a truth that will revolutionize your understanding of life and death. Your physical body is designed to last indefinitely, but it can't sustain indefinitely the weight of unresolved grief, accumulated emotional traumas and thought patterns that generate chronic stress. It's like trying to run a high-performance engine using adulterated fuel. For a while it endures, but eventually the entire system collapses. Ancient sages understood the first 100 years of life are most challenging because it's the time needed to learn to completely process losses inherent to human experience. Losing loved ones, seeing dreams shatter, facing betrayals and disillusions. All this creates energy contractions in your system that, if not consciously resolved, manifest as diseases and accelerated aging. But when you learn to love without attachment, accept without judgment, forgive completely not just others but mainly yourself, something extraordinary happens. Your body stops fighting against life and begins flowing harmoniously with the constant, renewal energy permeating the entire universe. The secret of extraordinary longevity isn't in miraculous supplements or advanced technologies. It's in consciousness awakening that transforms your relationship with every aspect of human existence. When you understand you're a powerful co-creator and not a victim of circumstances, when you learn to feel genuine gratitude even facing challenges, when you develop the capacity to love unconditionally without needing to control results, you're literally reprogramming your DNA to express patterns of youth and vitality. Science is discovering our genes aren't fixed destiny, but flexible programs that respond directly to our predominant emotional states. People who consistently cultivate feelings of purpose, connection, and appreciation show longer telomeres, the protective caps of chromosomes that determine cellular aging speed. It's as if gratitude were a youth elixir produced by the body itself when you tune to the correct frequency. Here's where gnosis meets science most spectacularly. When you recognize yourself as consciousness temporarily wearing a physical body instead of a body that accidentally developed consciousness, everything changes. You stop treating your organism like a machine that eventually breaks and begin honoring it as a sacred temple, capable of infinite regeneration when fed with correct nutrients, not just physical, but emotional and spiritual. Every loving thought is like vitamin for your cells. Every moment of authentic compassion is like exercise for your immune system. Every act of forgiveness is like an energy reset, allowing aged systems to function again with youthful vitality. Mystics always knew this, but now epigenetics is proving scientifically. Your internal states directly control your gene expression. This means you have much more power over your health and longevity than any doctor or guru can offer. And here's the final revelation that will completely transform your perspective on what it means to be human. You're not just learning to live longer. You're discovering how to become a conscious bridge between finite and infinite, between matter and spirit, between limited personality and unlimited consciousness. That is your true nature. When you understand your purpose isn't just to survive, but to contribute to human consciousness evolution through the example of a fully realized life, something sacred awakens within you. You become a beacon of possibility for others who still believe in limitations imposed by social programming. And this transformation isn't just personal. It's part of a larger collective awakening movement happening across the planet. As more people rediscover their infinite potential and learn to love without limitations, they create a morphogenetic field that makes it easier for others to make the same journey. Now you know the secrets that monks have guarded for 15 centuries, the most advanced spiritual technology ever revealed to humanity. But knowledge without application is just intellectual entertainment. Are you going to keep praying the old way, asking and waiting? Or will you start today feeling your answers as if they've already happened? Will you remain a passive observer of your life, or finally embrace your power as a conscious co-creator of reality? The quantum field is waiting for your emotional commands right this very moment. Your next breath could be the beginning of a completely transformed life. You just need to choose to feel gratitude for what you want to manifest as if it's already real. How many more years are you planning to waste believing you're a victim of circumstances when you possess within yourself the same power that Jesus taught? The universe is conspiring in your favor, but it needs you to speak the language it recognizes. If this knowledge touched something deep within you, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to keep discovering the hidden secrets that can revolutionize your existence forever.